Hi everyone. My name is Sarah King. I'm co-founder of a business called We Are Radikl. My business partner Claire Dunn isn't able to be with us today. We had a couple of technical glitches, which is why we're a little late joining you this morning. But we're really delighted to be here. I'm really excited to have an opportunity to talk to you for the next 10 or 15 minutes or so. And the focus of everything I'm going to share with you this lunchtime is going to be on how to start your own business. So obviously we've been through a period of lockdown. The schools are starting to reopen now in England after a period of about 11 weeks. And we're starting to see that schools will be opening up in Wales and Scotland in the future, in the coming weeks as well. And we know that this can mean that for some people, you're starting to think about, how do I get that business idea off of the ground that I've always had? Is now the right time for me to do this or not? Maybe you've been furloughed, so maybe you're thinking that that's a great opportunity for you to spend some time working on your business idea. So what I want to do in the next 10 minutes or so is just to share with you some insights on the kind of entrepreneurial landscape in the UK, but also to give you some really practical hints, tips, and advice that you can take away and put into practice. And that's where we're going to start, because Claire and I really believe in empowering women to start your own businesses. So we're going to crack straight into the hints and tips. Um, so the first thing we would say for anyone who is considering starting your own business, or even if you've been going for a little while, is to check in with your why. So why is it that you want to be an entrepreneur? Why do you want to create and build your own business? Now, we know that when sometimes that question is asked, we can give a kind of an initial answer, the thought that comes into our head straight away. But what we'd encourage you to do is to ask yourself why 5 times. Now, that might seem a bit crazy and it might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. But the reason we ask you to do this is that by asking yourself why 5 times, you're more likely to get to the real reason, the kind of deep in your heart, deep in your belly reason for why you want to start your own business. Building a business, being an entrepreneur, is a real roller coaster of a ride. And that means there's lots of highs, but there are also lows. It can be hugely exhilarating and exciting, but there can also be days where it's really tough and it's really challenging. And knowing your why, being really clear on your purpose, both personally and professionally, for wanting to start your own business, that sense of why will fuel your resilience, it will fuel your motivation, and really importantly, it will help you to get clear on the purpose that you have for the customers that you're going to serve. So our first top tip is to get really clear on your why, to spend some time understanding that, and to be really honest with yourself. So for some people, they're driven by the desire to be known as an expert in a particular area. And that's fantastic if that's what motivates you. For other people, it might be finances. It might be about generating income. It might be about being able to make your own decisions without consulting other people. It might be about having a particular social impact, or maybe you want to work 6 months of the year from the top of a mountain. Whatever it is, be really honest with yourself about what your why is, because that will really fuel you, really act as a way to build your resilience and to motivate you. So that's our first top tip. Our second top tip is to make your story work for you. So very often when women join our community or they come and talk to us about starting their own business, they'll describe themselves as being a beginner, or that they're starting from scratch and that they've never done this before, so they don't know where to start. Now, of course, if you've not run your own business before, then there's going to be a lot to learn. But that know-how, that experience, that wisdom is out there. And so you can go away and find that know-how. What's really important for you in terms of your own confidence and your own mindset as you're starting to think about beginning and growing your own business, is to recognize all of the knowledge, all of the experience, all of the wisdom that you've had so far in your life, be that from your personal life or from your professional life. You come to your business with a whole bunch of experience. And as you're setting up your business, you'll be in a position to be able to put that experience into practice. So our second piece of advice is to make your story work for you. You've earned all of that knowledge, all of that experience, all of that wisdom. So put it to work by crafting a story that enables you to start your business confidently. So our third tip, and this is a bit of a mantra for Claire and I, and everyone in our community hears us saying this all of the time, but our mantra is to think big, to start small, but to definitely do start. Okay, and what we mean here is that often when we start to think about our business, our imagination runs wild and we start to big imagine what our business could be. And that's a really, really exciting time. But then when we start to think about how am I going to make this huge idea happen, that's when we can start to feel overwhelmed. And it's when we can cause ourselves to get stuck. And it's when self-limiting beliefs can kind of get in our own way and trip us up. So we'd encourage you to absolutely have that think big idea, but then to break it down into its smallest component parts and then pick one of those component parts to start working on. And that's where you get think big, start small, but definitely do start. Our fourth tip here, and we've got 5 in total to share with you, but our fourth tip here relates to the last one. So if you can surround yourself with other founders, other female founders, if you are a female entrepreneur or you're considering setting up your own business, then we know that people who know at least one other founder are more than double the likelihood of starting their own business. So knowing another founder is going to increase your likelihood of actually beginning your business. So our fourth piece of advice is to find other entrepreneurs who you can learn with, who you can share your experience with, but who you can also learn from, and allow their knowledge, their experience to inspire you, but to also give you the know-how and confidence to start to take each one of those small steps. So our final piece of advice, our final top tip, is this one. And we don't mean any offense to anyone's friends and family, but often when we're thinking about our business idea, we can ask our partner, we might ask a sibling, we might ask our parents, we might ask our friends over a Zoom call with a glass of wine. Those people are there to be your cheerleaders, to be your support when you need propping up. Those are not the people to ask, is this a good business idea? The only people who can help you to answer the question of, is this a good business idea, are your customers. Okay, because it's your customers that are going to buy your product or your service, whatever it might be that you're developing. It's only them that can help you to figure out if it's a good idea or not. Your friends and your family are going to tell you, hell yes, of course it's a great idea and you should do it, because of course they want you to succeed. Actually though, it's your customers that will help you to figure out which bits of your proposition work for them and which bits don't, because it's important to know that you won't get it right first time, and that's completely okay. If you're taking lots of small steps though, and you're engaging with your customer the whole way, then that's when you're more likely to build a product or a service that's sticky. And by that we mean a product and service that your customers will want to buy, and a product and service that they're going to love, and they're going to want to be loyal to you, your business and your brand over an extended period of time. So those are our 5 top tips. The other thing that we wanted to do quickly was just give you a bit of context in terms of the landscape for female entrepreneurs in the UK. So one of the things that we do with our business alongside supporting female founders is to look at how we can disrupt the ecosystem of support that exists for women who are considering entrepreneurship. And the reason that's important is that in the UK, there is a fairly dominant narrative on entrepreneurship. So if I ask you to name an entrepreneur, the chances are that you'll mention either Alan Sugar or maybe Branson. Okay, and that's because the dominant narrative in the UK is male, it's white, it's straight, and it's able-bodied. And what Claire and I know is that there is such a huge amount of diversity in the UK in terms of entrepreneurs. And we know that there are so many women who are considering entrepreneurship. And as I've already said, if you know an entrepreneur, or even if you can see an entrepreneur and read her story, you're more likely to have the confidence to take the first steps to setting up your own business. We know in the UK that 4.3 million people, are unhappy in work. And we know that 31% of women who already have a side hustle, so a business idea that they're experimenting alongside their day job, alongside their career, we know that 31% of those women want to take that side hustle and turn it into their main business. So generate enough revenue from it that it can become their main income source. So we know that there are a whole bunch of women that are considering entrepreneurship. And what we want to do is to disrupt that ecosystem so that products and services, be it banking products, be it co-working spaces, be it investment, are more easily accessible for women. Because the truth is that women have an incredible set of qualities and characteristics that enable them to be really successful entrepreneurs. Now, I'm just going to talk to you about some of those just very briefly, because one of the books we really love is a book called Work Like a Woman by Mary Portas. And she talks about some of the feminine traits that enable women to be really great business owners. So things like courage over bravery, seeking excellence rather than perfection, thinking about the legacy that you want to leave with your business and the impact that you want to have, rather than just the status that you want to achieve. Thinking about how we can build businesses that have purpose, that have a positive impact, both for people and for planet, that yes, enable us to generate a profit, but actually enable us to consider the impact that our businesses have. So if you haven't read Mary Portas's book, we'd really recommend that you take a look. It's a fantastic book. We've used it to help us to fuel our confidence as we're building our business. But for now, that's all I wanted to leave you with today. I'm sorry we were a bit late. We had a few technical glitches. If you are considering starting your own business, then please feel free to get in touch with us. Our website is weareradikl, spelt radikl.co.uk, and we'll be sharing some articles with you via the Psychologies website in the coming days and weeks as well. So take care. I hope that you and yours are safe and well. And if you have got any questions about starting your own business, feel free to drop us a line. Okay, take care. Bye.